The archaeological chamber hummed with the nervous energy of a dozen alien species, all gathered around the obsidian pedestal at the center of the forbidden vault. Lisa Chen stood at the back of the crowd, arms crossed, wondering why she'd been summoned from her mining rig, 3 sectors away for what was supposed to be a matter of galactic importance. The vault itself was ancient, predated most known civilizations by millennia. Its walls were carved with warnings in 700 different languages, all variations of the same terrifying message: here lies the instrument of the first destroyer. Let none disturb this place, lest the horror return. Commander Solar, a towering Krellian with 4 arms and ceremonial battle scarring, raised his primary appendage for silence. His voice boomed through the chamber's translation matrix. Honored delegates, scientists, and human contractor. He glanced at Lisa with barely concealed disdain. After 3 centuries of excavation, we have finally breached the inner sanctum. What we discovered has shaken the foundations of galactic history. A holographic display flickered to life, showing grainy images of a helmet matte black, angular, with a cracked visor and scorch marks along its surface. The audience gasped collectively. Several of the smaller species backed away instinctively. The legend spoke true, Lexola continued, his voice trembling with a mixture of awe and fear. This is the battle crown of the first destroyer, the being who single-handedly conquered the Nexus Empire, shattered the Voidborn fleets, and brought the great civilizations of the old galaxy to their knees. Carbon dating places it at approximately 12,000 years old. The residual energy signatures are unlike anything we've encountered, apocalyptic, designed for maximum devastation. Dr. Velmuth, the expedition's lead archaeologist, stepped forward. Her tentacles quivered as she manipulated the hologram, zooming in on strange markings along the helmet's side. These symbols have defied translation for months. They appear to be a warning, perhaps the destroyer's true name, or a curse upon those who would dare. It says, property of J. Chen, USMC, Lisa interrupted, squinting at the display. Also, that's definitely Mom's old combat helmet from her deployment days. The chamber fell silent. Every eye, stalk, an optical sensor turned toward the human woman in the worn mining suit. Dexeler's mandibles clicked in agitation. Impossible. This artifact predates your species' recorded history by 10 millennia. The first destroyer was a cosmic force of nature, a being of such power that entire star systems evacuated at the mere rumor of their approach. You dare to mock? No. Seriously, Lisa said, walking forward and pulling out her deck. She swiped through some family photos until she found what she was looking for. Look, that's my mum, Jessica Chen, at my 5th birthday party. She's literally wearing that helmet. Same crack on the visor from where she dropped it off the landing. Craft on Kepler 4 to be. Same scorch mark from that cooking accident at Camp Leloin. She turned the datapad around. The image showed a smiling human woman in casual clothes, wearing the supposedly apocalyptic artifact while a young Lisa blew out birthday candles. Dr. Velmuth's color shifted from scholarly purple to confused gray. But the devastation, the conquered empires, the legends speak of entire armadas reduced to cosmic dust, of planets surrendering at first contact, of, oh yeah, Mum was a Marine, Lisa said with a shrug. Did 3 tours during the first contact wars back in, 2143? She doesn't talk about it much, but I know she was part of the rapid response teams when the Nexus Empire tried to claim Earth as a tributary world. The Nexus Empire, Thexalar whispered, his voice hollow, the greatest military power of its age. Their siege fleets numbered in the thousands. Their warrior caste was bred for centuries to be the perfect soldiers. They had never known defeat until he stopped, staring at Lisa with dawning horror. Until they met humans. Yeah, Lisa finished. Look, I don't know all the details, but from what Mum mentioned, they showed up expecting primitive natives and instead found, well, Marines. Apparently, the Nexus commander made some big speech about submission and tribute, and Mom's CO just shot him in the face mid-sentence. Things escalated from there. She zoomed in on another photo. This one's from Mom's retirement party. See that guy next to her? That's Oliver Martinez. He was her squad mate. Pretty sure he's the one your legends call the Silent Death or whatever. Oliver was indeed in the photo a stocky man with gray hair, holding a beer and wearing a t-shirt that read, I survived first contact and all I got was this lousy PTSD. A small, insectoid scholar named Chitrix spoke up, his voice barely a whisper through his translator. But the scale of destruction, entire fleets vaporized, defense stations turned to debris fields. We found records of a single destroyer eliminating a battle group of 500 warships in under an hour. Lisa nodded thoughtfully. Yeah, that sounds about right. Humans get really creative when someone threatens their home. Mum probably just called in a max strike or used some of those nuclear-tipped missiles they were testing back then. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy, Vexala repeated numbly. I mean, from what I understand, the Nexus ships weren't really built for actual combat against an opponent who fought back. They were designed for intimidation and occupation. Not great armor, predictable formations, no real point defense to speak of. Lisa shrugged again. Once the fleet realized they were in an actual fight, they kinda fell apart. Dr. Velmuth's tentacles had gone completely limp. The Voidborn Collective, they have a memorial moon dedicated to the thousands who fell against the destroyer. An entire moon. Oh, the Voidborn, Lisa said, recognition lighting her face. Mum mentioned them. They tried to harvest humanity for biological materials or something. She said Oliver actually went planetside on their home world with just his squad. Negotiations were ... brief. Brief. Chitrix echoed faintly. The historical records say their entire command structure surrendered within 36 hours. They abandoned 7 colony worlds rather than face the destroyer again. Sounds like Oliver, Lisa said fondly. He always was efficient. Nice guy, though makes great barbecue. You should try his ribs. Vexala slumped against the pedestal, his forearms hanging uselessly. We've spent 3 centuries, built an entire mythology, dedicated resources that could have built star systems. To be fair, Lisa offered helpfully, Mum's generation of Marines was pretty hardcore. They were the first ones to meet alien life, and most of it was hostile. They didn't have the benefit of cultural exchange programs or diplomatic protocols. They just had training, determination, and a really strong aversion to extinction-level threats. She looked at the helmet again, a soft smile on her face. Mum always said the galaxy was bigger and scarier than humans expected. But she also said that humanity's best trait was being too stubborn to know when we were outmatched. We just kept fighting until the other side gave up. That helmet, Dr. Velmuth said weakly, is priceless. A genuine artifact from the founding era of galactic human expansion. It belongs in a museum. It belongs in my mum's garage in Phoenix, Lisa corrected. She's been looking for that thing for 20 years. Said she wanted to pass it down to me. She grinned. Though I guess relentless destroyer of empires does run in the family. I once held a mining sector against corporate raiders for 3 months with just a plasma torch and spite, as the assembled aliens processed this information there. Great terror reduced to someone's missing garage equipment. Lisa filled out a retrieval form on her datapad. So, she said cheerfully, can I just take this now? Or do you need me to file some paperwork first? Commander Vexala, the leader of a military force spanning 17 systems, could only nod weakly. The first destroyer's battle crown went home in a shipping container marked fragile, sentimental value. Jessica Chen wore it to the next family reunion,